Hello, this is Perfect and my name is Rajiv. Now, the biggest question before we go on to anything or everything at all, the biggest question is, what's in a name? I'll tell you what, in today's world, actually, there's a lot in a name. We meet so many people, we talk to them, we listen to them, be it a social gathering, weddings, conferences, meetings. Now, if you want to have an impact, you want to be heard, there's one simple thing to do. It's very hard to do it, but very simple to say it, which of course is remember the person's name. We always say, I forgot the name, but I remember the face. That's not going to help. I'll tell you what, according to a lot of people, the number one personal, professional and social etiquette is to call a person by the name. But then, hey, we meet so many people, how will we remember the name? I'll tell you what, there's a very simple method. We'll talk about that just to let you know how to remember people's names. It's a very small thing to do, but it's got a super impact. Let's get started with the name. In today's society, if you want to leave a super impression, you've got to be suave. Not style and attitude kind of suave. It actually is a method to imply and remember names. Be suave. Now, B, which is B and E, are methods or basically ideas that you have to have in every single walk of life. B, as Henry Ford said, whether you believe you can or you believe you can't, you're absolutely right. And E stands for exercise. In this context, exercise means constantly practicing or exercising that aspect. So first you need to believe that you can remember names and work on this simple method called suave. Now what is S-U-A-V-E? Let's put sense and find out how much is there in a name. Let's start being suave with the S. What does S stand for? Say the name. When you're introduced to someone, for example, you're introduced to me and I tell you, hi, my name is Rajiv. Your reply should be, hi, Rajiv. You must say the name. Because when you hear the name, the brain has an impact. But when you say the name, your brain has a much more stronger impact and works on the memory. So point number one is say the name when you're introduced to the person. Now it's about you. I mean the alphabet U. U stands for use the name. In an approximate conversation of 2 minutes, you have to use the name couple of times. Remember, use the name, don't abuse the name. For example, if you actually are talking to me and you keep asking me, how are you Rajiv? What do you do Rajiv? What do you like to eat Rajiv? Where are you going Rajiv? If you keep saying Rajiv, 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 it becomes an abuse. But if you can use it once in a while to ensure that your brain, yourself and the opposite person actually has an impact, use the name frequently, use it wisely and have that impact on your brain. A stands for ask a question. It's always a lot more impactful when you have a question, you get the answer, the brain works so much more better. When there's information attached with an emotion, it becomes a much more impactful memory. So ask a question about the name. It could be, what's the meaning of your name? Who named you? What are you named after? What's your pet name? Use questions like this to actually attach an emotion to that name. That will become a much more stronger memory. That's a question for an answer. Okay, now is the slightly crazy part, which is V, that stands for visualization. It's going to sound very, very childish, I know it, but let's answer one question before we go into this. Who are the quickest and fastest learners on planet Earth? Children. That's right, because they don't look for logic to learn things. They want something innovative, something creative, something fun to learn onto. That's why this part of V, visualization, is very, very personal, very creative, but not so logical. We need to add some element to the entire name. Visualize the person and the name in a very different and a funny connect. Remember, this is only for you, not to tell the person how you remember the name. Let me give you 2 examples to make this damn clear. Let's say a name called Rohit. Alright, Rohit. Use your own sense of creativity. Imagine that there's this man, you see his face, you know his face. There's something on top of his head that's constantly hitting him. It's going to sound or look a bit crazy, but that's the way you will remember it. So when you see this man's face again, you will imagine something on top of his head constantly hitting him. You'll know, hit. Rohit. I'll give you one more example. Let's take another name, Vignesh. So Vignesh, this is your own way, your own ideas, your own creativity. I'm going to do it that way. Imagine this man has a very, very funny wig on his head. Very crazy, very funny. The next time you see this man's face, you'll immediately reconnect this wig, this funny wig on his head, and you will know, okay, wig, Vignesh. Now when you start connecting creativity, visualization to this name, it's going to make it much more easier, a lot more fun to actually remember. But please remember one more thing. This is only for you. Don't tell the person it'll be the last time you are looking at their face or calling them by the name. Lots more. And we're almost approaching the end. That's right, E stands for end. I'll tell you, the brain works in such a way that we remember the starting and the end very easily. The in-between is somewhere all lost. So as you end a conversation, you're telling the person a goodbye, you'll see them later, you'll stay in touch, you'll meet them again. Whatever your ending or departing words are from that conversation, end it with their name. And when you do all of this, when you apply the Be Suave method, I'll tell you what, remembering names can be a lot more easier and also a lot more fun. This person's name is Rajiv. Let me know how this concept of Be Suave worked for you. And we've got so much more simple ideas, simple life, making life so much more perfect. Making life perfect. Stay in touch.